Fear locks light in the darkness. Courage is the key. It's good philosophy. Kingdom Hearts. One of my favorite games of all time. Kingdom Hearts is absolutely the best game that I've probably ever played. That's a lie. But it's still one of my favorite games of all time. I swear. Kingdom Hearts is my childhood. When I was a kid, growing up, I was playing this game. This game was my thing. It was everything. I played Kingdom Hearts 1, 2. I've played every single Kingdom Hearts game, and I love them all. I do have my issues with most of them. I'm not saying that Kingdom Hearts is a perfect franchise. Definitely not. But I am saying that I absolutely love Kingdom Hearts, and oh my god, it is just... Let me break down to you what is so brilliant about this game. The brilliance of this game is its simplicity. Kingdom Hearts is absolutely the best when it comes to its simplicity. The simplest story in the franchise. It is literally light versus dark. That's it. There is no convoluted plot about the nobodies. There's no convoluted plot about Organization 13, 17, or whatever the fuck they call themselves these days. It is just one very straightforward light versus dark, and it is a masterpiece. I swear, this game is so good at being simple. The number one thing that makes this game so good is the characters. The characters of Sora, Donald, and Goofy. You start off playing the game as Sora in this dream world that turns out to be somewhat real-ish. In the opening sequence, you are literally pitted against a character named Riku. You know that these two are best friends, but the best part about it is that they're friends with a rivalry. And these two go head to head, and every time in the opening sequence that you verse him, you have like a little minigame race with him, and every time that you lose, Riku makes you feel like shit for losing, and it makes you instantly attached to the character of Sora, and it is brilliant. So the original trio of this game is Sora, Riku, and Kairi. And Sora is the main character, Riku is arguably the second, Kairi is sort of left in the background a little bit. She still has her own thing to do in this game, in this series. She's not as fleshed out as Sora or Riku, but she is a pivotal part of it all. So basically, in the opening sequence, Sora, Riku, and Kairi, they want to explore the world. They want to explore the galaxy, basically. They want to see what's out there. And on this little island, they make a raft that is apparently going to get them off-world to another world. It doesn't really make sense, but whatever. They think it's going to work, so they spend all day and night. They spend a large portion of their entire time trying to build this raft, collecting supplies, collecting the materials, and they're gonna build their raft and be on their way. Instantly after you get off the island, you lose Riku and Kairi, and that is literally the plot of the game. The entire time you are looking for Riku and Kairi, but when you meet up with Donald and Goofy, that's where the story starts to get a little more interesting. Hold on, Mr. Part, back up with me. Yeah, so in the climax of the opening scene, realize that these shadow things are growing, coming and attacking you. You lose Riku, you lose Kairi, and in the process of losing Riku, Sora gets a weapon that's called the Keyblade. At first, the Keyblade was sort of like the wand in Harry Potter. It had to choose its master. The best part about these first two games is that the Keyblades were so rare that you never saw any of them. In this one game, you see 3 of them, but as the series goes on, they start to pop up more and more, and they become less special as the series progresses. But in this game, the Keyblade just feels so special. It feels like the Master Sword has chosen you. It's the best feeling in the game. The Keyblade is probably one of my favorite weapons in gaming history. I've got replicas of the Keyblade. I've even got replicas of the Master Sword, but I've got more Keyblades than I've got Master Swords, because Keyblades, well, there's more of them, but it's my preferred weapon. And to go along with the rivalry of Riku and Sora, as the game progresses, Sora and Riku just start becoming polar opposites. Sora is the good guy. Sora is obviously the good guy, and he's like going down the hero's journey. But Riku is starting to spiral down the other side, and he literally has like the voice of Satan in his ear, being like, "Come to the dark side, Anakin, it's better." That being Maleficent, not Emperor Palpatine, although that would have been fucking cool. As the game progresses, Riku starts becoming more and more dark. He starts to progress down the dark line, and at the midway point, or 3/4 of the way through the game, Sora, Donald, and Goofy, they end up at a world, as they call it, which is called Hollow Bastion. And when they get there, the first 5 minutes, Riku literally explains that the Keyblade only chose Sora because Riku left in the darkness. So Riku was actually the Keyblade Master, and Sora was just chosen on accident. It was not his destiny to become the Keyblade Master, it was Riku's. Sora had just got in the way. And to make this moment even more sad, is Donald and Goofy, because the entire reason that they're following you is because of that key. They dump your ass and they go off with Riku, and it's like, motherfuckers, what? You two literally were following me. We were bonding. We were becoming friends. We argued. We bonded. And we did all of this. And at a moment's notice, you dropped my ass because apparently the Keyblade's not mine. Fuck yes. I remember the first time I watched that scene, and I literally hated the both of them. I was like, the two of you are fucking dicks. You literally just dropped my ass because of this key. But then a couple levels later, you get to another section, and Riku is about to kill your ass. But then Goofy was like, nah, fuck this. I'm not letting my friend die. And then Goofy comes out and blocks it with his shield. And then he's like, see you later, Donald. Tell the king I'm really sorry. And then Donald's like, well, tell them together. That's my horrible Donald impression. But like, don't judge me, come on. Alright, and then Sora gives this incredible speech about how his friends are his power. He doesn't rely on magic and shit like that. He doesn't need the Keyblade, even though the Keyblade now chooses him. But he doesn't need the Keyblade in order to beat him. He just needs his heart. Like, my greatest weapon is my heart. It's a really motivating speech. And the Keyblade realizing that Sora is on the hero's journey rather than Riku, the Keyblade chooses him. The Keyblade just leaves Riku and is like, nah, screw this asshole, I'm out. And then latches onto Sora again. Now Sora is the true Keyblade Master. One of the best parts about this game is hands down the combat. The combat in this game is one of, if not the best version of combat in Kingdom Hearts history. I love the combat in this game. It is really insanely difficult, particularly on the harder versions of the game, like on Proud mode, on Critical mode. When you verse somebody like Riku, for instance, you have to use every ounce of skill that you have learned throughout the game to beat this guy. He is absolutely insane to beat. I swear to God, the first time I tried to kick his ass, he kicked mine multiple times. You really want to beat him, but not only at this point do you realize that Riku is possessed basically by Satan. He is also, he's just like, he's not in control of his body anymore. It's somebody else taking over. So now you want to beat him in order to save him. And another thing, and the other thing that makes this scene one of the best moments in the Kingdom Hearts game, and probably the franchise, is when Sora realizes that in this moment, throughout the entire game, he's been searching for Kairi, but Kairi's actually been with him the entire time. Kairi's heart literally implanted itself into his. It's a Disney game. Don't take it literally. It's not her actual... Well, it is, but it's not. It's not an actual beating heart. It's like an orb of light in his heart. And after beating Ansem, Sora realizes that Kairi's heart is within his own, and in order to save her, he has to sacrifice himself. So he picks up the Keyblade that Riku made, or Ansem made, and it's the Keyblade that releases one's heart. So it says. So he grabs the Keyblade and he stabs himself with it, and all the princesses' hearts, I guess, sort of come out of his and then disperse into their individual characters. They go into the seven princesses of heart. That's another thing I forgot to talk about. The seven princesses of heart. I'll get into it in a second. But they go into each of their characters, including Kairi, and Kairi just wakes up for this moment to almost reach him, for him to disappear. And then he just vanishes off into nothing, and he becomes heartless. So the seven princesses of heart in this game, as I understand it, the seven princesses of heart, they are keys to unlocking the heart of all worlds. So they are key to unlocking the heart of all worlds, which is Kingdom Hearts, and in this world is supreme darkness, turning the worlds into darkness. Like, because the head of all of this, Ansem, believes that all worlds began in darkness and therefore all worlds must return to darkness. It gets pretty self-indulgent about the whole darkness thing, but it's still compelling, and it really feels like it's the end of the world. The end of the world is coming and we have to stop it. And another one of the greatest moments comes immediately after this. You realize that like you start playing as a little Heartless and you figure it's probably Sora, and then you're running after Sora, Kairi, Donald, and Goofy, who are trying to escape Hollow Bastion, and then it's one of the funniest moments. It's like Heartless Sora goes up to Donald, Goofy, and Kairi, and Donald, thinking that it's a normal Heartless, just goes to fucking kill it and just whacks him on the head. It's like, get lost, Heartless! But then Kairi realizes that it's Sora. In calling out his name, she brings him back to the light. She brings him back from the darkness. In the darkness, there's always a light that will bring you out of it. In the darkest of places, there's always a light that will bring you back to life, or back into the light. And so after learning this, Sora realizes that he could probably reach Riku if he goes to Ansem, who possessed him, and save him. And be like, Riku, and then bring him back to the light. It doesn't work, because at that point, Ansem has taken over his body. Ansem is his own personal being, and Riku is just lost in the darkness. Riku's gone. Another praise that I've got for this game is absolutely the voice acting. The voice acting in this game is, because the Disney worlds that they have pretty much the original voice actors for each of these characters coming back to reprise their roles, like Donald, Goofy, King Mickey, Pinocchio, I believe, Tarzan, Clayton. All these characters come back to play the characters. Obviously not all of them, because some of them are older and some of them had passed away at the time. But for the most part, most of the voice actors in this game are the original voice actors for the characters. But the original characters for this game, in particular Sora, Riku, Kairi, and all of the original characters that are Kingdom Hearts exclusive characters, are all voice acted expertly. These characters are amazing, but the standout character voice actor in this game is hands down Billy Zane as Ansem. I love Billy Zane as Ansem. The dude just brings a life to this character. The dude just emanates. He just expresses so much villainous, menacing, just all in his voice. And during the one time that I have watched the Titanic movie, I was listening to Billy Zane in that movie and being like, yeah, that's Ansem. That's Ansem. It's just a really good voice. Like I don't even think he altered his voice in any way. I think that's just his voice voicing Ansem. That's probably my biggest gripe about future installments, is that they didn't get Billy Zane back. I'm sure Billy Zane has his reasons for not coming back. Like, I did it once, so I don't want to do it again. That's fine. Like, that's fine. But later on in the series, when they bring Ansem back, he's voiced by a different actor who sounds nothing like Billy Zane, and it really brings me out of it. It's like, this is not Billy Zane. This is like the voice acting is just different entirely. The running theme within this franchise is like when a voice actor doesn't come back, or a voice actor dies in real life, like the actual voice actor, like Leonard Nimoy, for example, they get another voice actor to voice that character, and they sound nothing like that character. It's probably one of the most disconcerting parts about the franchise, is that when some of these characters come back, they sound different, and it's weird. It really is weird. All my praises about the voice acting, the actors, I love them all. Like, the first game is amazing with it. I play the game still, and every time I play it, I still find something new about it. It's one of those games that you can replay over and over again and still find something new. It is accessible to everybody. People can play this game, get frustrated, but still enjoy the game that they're playing, because it's surprisingly difficult, and they will leave with an experience that's like, that was amazing. And in my own humble opinion, Kingdom Hearts is one of the best games that has ever been made, and since the first game, no game has really topped this game. Kingdom Hearts 2 is my second favorite. It used to be my favorite, but since replaying them recently, I've kind of placed Kingdom Hearts 1 just above it. But they're like right there with each other. They're just so close. So close with each other. So are you a Kingdom Hearts fan? What do you love about Kingdom Hearts? Do you love how the series has gone so far? Do you have your problems with it? Comment below, let me know. And if you like what you see here and you want to see more, click the subscribe button, hit the like button, and I'll see you guys next time.